Hello, you're welcome. Broadcast. We'll be talking about a very important topic. Very, very important topic. I'll be looking at how are you faring? How's it been for you? How can you answer this question? Will you answer the question and say, I am doing well? Can you say that really? That you are doing very well? Can you just say that? Can you say you are doing well? That's one of the problems we have today. A lot of people are losing their resilience. My job as a coach, my job as a mentor, every single day I come in contact with people who are losing their sanity. You know, business is not doing well, things are not going fine, they are finding it difficult to feed their families, and they are losing it. Inflation is getting so high that you're wondering how people are succeeding. But you see, every single time things get bad or worse, there are people who things are getting good for. Now, immediately you understand that a lot of things will start changing in your own life. A lot will start changing in your own life. And that's why we want to talk about resilience today. Generally, there's fragility and there's resilience. Fragility is when you break, like have my phones here, I have my laptop, my computers, I have my cameras and all those. Yeah. If I take the camera and smash it on the ground, yeah, the camera will go into fragments. It is fragile. The camera is fragile. It will just go into fragments. But you see, I use crutches. If I take my crutches and hit it on the ground, it may not go into fragments like the camera will go. The simple fact is that the camera is fragile. The crutches may also be fragile if you hit it stronger. That is why you need to have anti-fragility. Develop the resilience that even when something is happening to you, you are getting stronger. That's what we want to do today. So we're going to look at three resilience techniques for life and business success, especially in a tough economy like the one we have today in our climate. So welcome everyone. Welcome and welcome. So we're going to be talking about resilience techniques for life and business success. How can you navigate and go through the terrain that is so difficult in our climb today? In our climb, we have close to 40% food inflation. We have more than 30% inflation. It is actually so bad. Sorry, that's one of the things in my climb. So give me a second so I can um you know do something. Give me a second. Those are the beauty of my climb. The beauty of my climb. Mm. So I need to back up. Mm. Let's use okay. Okay, so resilience is something you need, and let's look at resilience from very important perspective. May not be what you used to hear about resilience. Now, the number one technique for surviving in our climb today, the number one technique for surviving, number one, is understand the human condition technique. The human condition technique. I wish you write it down. The human condition technique. So, what's that? Now, you need to understand that there's nothing that is happening to you that is not happening to everybody. That's the human condition. A lot of people take a lot of things very personal. So I'm going to tell you my own personal story. I am disabled in my lower limbs. That means I am physically challenged. I went to a place today, um, a conference after training in my organization. My class ended by 1. I went for a training. When I got in there, to find where to park my car was so difficult. A place that would be closer. When they actually made a way for me to park very close in the VIP stand, when I did, it was still very difficult because even coming out of the car became very difficult. Then, when I came out of the car, the distance was killing. You see, I had to go. By the time I got to the hall, I was already, stuttering. I was already tired. I was about falling. The point is very simple. That is human condition. It's not personal to me. A lot of people are passing through a lot differently. For instance, some people are blind, some people are deaf, some people have diabetes, some people have different kind of sickness, some people are poor, some people have no peace, some people have even spiritual problems. This is human condition. It's not peculiar to you. The same for economic conditions. So you have to understand that first of all, we are on earth. If we are on earth, it means that there are earthly things that will happen. The economy will go up, the economy will come down, the economy will understand this. When people shout, I started this podcast because when people come to my organization, they are shouting, we're about dying, the dollar is high. I asked them, when the dollar was on high, were you a rich man? When the dollar was on high, were you, do you own all the houses in your estate? The point is, this shall also come to pass. This too shall pass. So understand the human condition and be able to know that there are two kinds of things, the macro and the micro. Now, the macro are the things you cannot control. The micro are the things you can control. Macro, inflation are macro, government decisions are macro, how other people behave towards you are macro. What you can control are the things around you, the things you yourself can actually control. You cannot control how others will behave towards you. I mean, like if you tell somebody good morning, you can't control whether the person will tell you good morning back. It is the person's prerogative to decide whether he or she will tell you good morning or will tell you get away from here. It's a person's prerogative. So you should be able to understand that and be able to know that immediately you are able to know the macro and you know the micro, you are able to focus on the micro. The micro will now control the macro. The economy is difficult at the moment. It's a challenging time for companies. Organizations are closing down, they're sacking workers and others. But you see, what can you do within your micro environment to actually cushion what is happening? Do you need to bring down your standard of living? I don't always want to do that. Why? Because I believe that we are not here for too long. I want to live 110 years. Now, I don't have need of 110 years, but I project to live 110 years so that if I'm 40, if I'm 50, if I'm 60, I know what I'm expecting. To that extent, it will help me to know how to take care of my health. Because if I live to become 110. I need to be strong to live that life. So that is why I'm projecting I'm going to be 110. To that extent, I will now make sure that every single step of my life, I am very conscious and I'm very, very um, deliberate about making my health count. Now, even for people who want to live a longer life, okay, you still see that life is so, so short. Because before you say Jack, you are 50, you are 60, you are 70, you are 100, and you are gone. Even at 100, you are tired, want to go. So if that is true, I don't want to bring down the kind of life I live. I want to make sure that my life is a little, qualitative, so that I don't just after some time find out that I can no more be in an air conditioner, I can no more eat sugar, I can no more, a lot of things you can't do at a particular time. So I don't like bringing down the life I live, lowering the quality. I like, what can I do to still maintain the quality or increase it? So I tell you for free, this period I've increased my working time by 3 more hours, because there are things I don't do in my organization. In fact, I've resigned in a lot of duties in my organization. Yeah. But come 2024, with the way 2023 went, I felt that I need to step in a little more and then do some certain things that I wasn't doing before. So I stepped in again and I added 3 hours every day to my work schedule. So that means, and I work Monday to Sundays. I take leave when I want because I work for myself. Any day I want to rest, I go and rest, because if I don't come to work, nobody will question me. Okay, so to that extent, I added 3 hours. 3 times 7 is about 21 more hours that I added to my working time. Because of that, it has helped to make sure that the income is not going down. Yes, while it may not have gone more than it should have if it was in a normal time that I added the 3 hours per day, but it makes sure that it didn't go down. So what we mean by this is that all the micro things you can do, what are there? Can you add more hours? Can you put in a little more time? Can you expand the number of organization you work for? For instance, we used to do a lot of training and training and training. It took a lot of our time. But you see, since the economic thing started, we now started giving more attention, not just only to the trading, but to our consultancy, to our research, and to the supplies we do. So we increased our offering, yes, and then we also try to do a lot around backward integration, trying to see what are some of the things that we can do within the organization so that the monies of the organizations are not going out too much. So these are the things you can look around and do. If you're an organization that you use a lot of catering services, can you now have a catering company to augment, you that catering company can help you to lower cost. If you're an organization that you use a lot of a particular material, can you now do a little of that to make sure that you walk around it so that you're no more buying it from outside. If you're an organization that use a lot of thank you. If you're an organization that use a lot of um, um, you know, tomatoes, can you plant some? If you're an organization that uses a lot of logistics, can you buy some logistic, you know, vehicles for what you are doing? And there are things you can do internally to work around that. That is the micro. You can't change, you can't bring down the price of oil. For instance, if you use a lot of lights, can you now put solar? Can you put solar? Can you put inverter? And all those. Those are the micro things you can do to be able to, shoulder the problems. That's coping techniques. That's resilience mechanism for you, for your life, and for your business. Okay, so remember, we're trying to talk about three resilience techniques for life and business success in an economy like this. So we've talked first of all about the human condition. Understand that there's nothing that is happening to you that is just only you. Everything happening to you is happening to another person. they have found a way of coping, find a way to cope around that. So, what are the external things that you cannot control? How do you go around them? What are the internal things that you can control? How do you go around them? Step in immediately to make sure that nothing goes out of hand. Okay, so that's one thing. The next thing, thank you guys for attending, Esther and Kefas, Ladong, Michelle, and all my friends there. Okay, so now the next thing is that there are things that are outside your control. Those things that are outside your control, find the things that are within your control that you are going to use to work around the things that are outside your control. That is how to cope. Everything around is all about human condition. There is nothing happening to you that is beyond your power. Everything is within your power. You can control them. Okay? So there are a few things I want you to look to know, see as something around you know something around application. Number one is that acknowledge the economic realities. Don't live in denial. Acknowledge. Remember, we're talking about number one coping technique, resilience technique is understand the human condition and understand that it is not peculiar to you. Okay? When you understand it, you are able to work around it. So the first thing around what you need to use in helping yourself in that is number one, acknowledge the economic realities, but don't dwell on them. I see a lot of people 24 hours. Do you know the dollar is? Do you know the economy? Do you know this government? Do you know? They are discussing and talking about the negatives from morning till night. There's what we call RAS, reticular activating system, RAS. Now, RAS is the simple way to tell you about it is that if you, let me write it down, reticular activating activating system. I like to talk about this to all my friends every time I talk. I want you to Google it later and read more about it. But let me colloquialize. Reticular activating system is that if you are always on the lookout for red cars, you will see red cars. If you're on the lookout for a particular car, you will see the particular. If you're on the lookout for negativity in the economy, in the society, you will see that. If you're looking out for something to gossip with, you will always see. If you are looking out for where to blame the government, you will always see. If you're looking out for opportunities, you will always see. So always be on the lookout for opportunities. Don't always be on the lookout for the negative. Remember, there are external things. Remember, there are internal things. You cannot control the external. You can control the internal. So acknowledge the economic realities, but don't dwell on them. Number two, when it comes to application or the human condition thing, you need to focus on what you can control. Your work ethics, I told you I added 3 hours to my work, and then your resourcefulness, yeah, and then your capacity for adaptability. How can you adapt to the environment? What more can you do to make sure that the economic crunch, the problems, what can you do in the organization to make sure the economic crunch, the problems do not hit you hard? Okay, if you used to use air conditioners everywhere, you can do what? You can reduce them and maybe put on or what do you call it, wall fans for your workers, and then put on an inverter, put on what do you call it, solar system, whatever it is. You're going to ask, they will all cost money. Yes, they will all cost money, but you can do something around it. One of the major problems about life is that problems can only listen to solutions. Problems don't listen to problems. Problems listen to only solution. So if you're a problem and you bring problem on top of problem, it can only add. I met somebody came to my office, a few days ago. The person was supposed to take an action on something. In fact, the person was supposed to come and do a program in our organization. And the person thought that the program is costly. And the person didn't come for the past months, the past about 2 or 3 years. In fact, when the person was supposed to do that program was about maybe 150,000. Now that program is at 4 times, 5 times that amount. And the person started, I think, this Tuesday. Yeah. And the person was telling me that she's lost like, tens and tens and tens. I don't want to mention the money, tens and tens of millions before she was able to, you know, she got tired and said, let her come and do this program. The first, 1 hour, she found out all the problems that she had. She saw all the solutions. The point is that problem can only listen to solution. Problem will never listen to problems. If you get that, you are going to now understand how to reframe challenges. Reframe challenges as opportunities for growth and innovation. Take all the challenges, reframe them, make them opportunities. I'm going to tell you a story, but before I do that, please click on the share button and try and share this with your friend, and then like this broadcast, please. Like the broadcast. I want to see your thumb up for this broadcast, and then click on share button and share with your friends. Share on your WhatsApp status, share on YouTube, share on Facebook, share on SMS, please. Just take a second and do that right away. Okay. Now, I was trying to talk about reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, and reframing it as opportunities for innovation. And I said I wanted to tell you a story. Now look at it. I had poliomyelitis when I was a little over a year. And life was so difficult that I felt that I needed to kill myself. In fact, by age 1 year, 6 months, I had become physically challenged, and by age six, I had become perfectly suicidal. Why? Because I believe that I cannot amount to anything. I believe that there is no way my life will be good. I believe that, in fact, because we're seven in the family, and I believe that everybody will be bigger than me, and I believe that, I can't even amount to anything. But you see, one day God opened my eyes to see. And I looked around our vicinity. I found that all the people who were poor had their legs. I looked around my vicinity. I found that all the people who were ignorant and clueless, they had their legs. I looked around my vicinity. I saw that all the people who were quarreling with their wives, having problem here and there, they all had their legs. I found that the legs were not, I'm not having my legs, were not the problem. It wasn't the major problem. And I started looking for the problem. I found out one day some two guys, hefty, pushing truck, what we call truck, wooden caravan, and a wooden cart with the tire of a car. Very difficult to push. I saw them pushing that, and they were pushing it. And the person they were pushing it for was somebody who was, not tall, somebody who was not as big as themselves. They were pushing it for the person. And I found out that if it was about legs, why is it? If it was about stature, if it was about how big you are, why is it that these huge are not the richest? I started looking for algorithm for wealth, and I found out that the quality of your determination and the quality of your intellect, the quality of what you know, they are at the heart of who you become. Now you can be as tall as Goliath, you can be as beautiful as or as wise as Solomon. You can be anything, but if you are not applying it, if you don't know how to use it, you will always have the problem of not being wealthy. So I started applying in my classes. I say, how can I top the class? I read more than others, or so I thought. I topped my classes, and because of that, nobody can come in that class and say, because you are disabled, Because you are physically challenged, you are no more the best in this class. Nobody ever did that. So I started learning that the algorithm for wealth, the algorithm for greatness is just being able to be a person of value. I started desiring and doing everything humanly possible to be a person of value. I started reframing my challenges. So instead of bemoaning that I can't move around, I started understanding that if I can't move around as much as I want, I can stay one place. And if I can stay one place more than others, that means I can actually do what? I can read more than others. I started plowing back that strength, and everything started becoming better. So let's talk about the second one because I don't want, we've done 25 minutes already. I will want to end soon. Now, one, the second technique for the resilient technique for 21st century, or rather, success in life and business in this period. The second technique is what I call mental technology techniques. Mental technology techniques. Now, what does that mean? What it means is that every single thing you become, every single thing that will happen to you, every single thing you will earn will be a function of your intellect. Now, you need to start understanding that for every single cause, there is an effect. For every single effect, there was a cause. Now, you make your mind to understand that you stop waiting for miracles that will never come. You start understanding that everything you need to become who you should be, God has given into your hands. He has given you the intellect, He has given you wisdom, He has given you life, He has given you capacity to think. And anybody who can think can change anything in his or her life. So, mental technology technique is a technique that uses the mentis, the human mind, to search through the answers to a problem you are facing, and you are able to solve that problem because the human mind can solve every impossibility within the human confines. You see, now you see AI, you see this one, you see this one, and it sounds simple at the moment. Why? We never thought it was possible. The planes can fly. Now there are cars. You have cellular phones. You have the aeroplane. You have the rockets. You have all kinds. Before now, for our children, in fact, my own children, when I tell them that when we were as young as themselves, there was nothing like phone. They up to today, they think I'm lying. They'll say, okay, when you are sick in school, how does somebody tell your mom that you are sick? For instance, you're wounded. How will somebody tell your mom that you have injury? And I tell them they will go to the market and look for Mama Callistus, Mama Vitalis, Mama Emeka, Mama, and they will look for that person and they will find the woman and say, your son is bleeding. And the woman will, and they say, no, that you can't be saying the truth. Okay, if somebody dies and they want to tell somebody in another city, another country, how do they do it? I said, you either go to the phone booth and call somebody who else who probably will take 2 days before he can deliver the message, or you go to the park and write a letter and give the driver that you see at the park to get to the village or to get to that Lagos or Abuja or wherever and give to your son or your brother or whatever. They say you can't be serious. What do I mean? Everything that is simple today used to be impossibility. When people come to my organization and I teach them what they can use AI to do in their work as government officials, in their work as entrepreneurs, and all those, how they can use it to crunch time, what they will do in 10 hours, they can do in just 5 minutes. They will always say, wow, wow, wow. And I say, that is where we are in the world of today. What's the point? The point is that your mind, if you can just go home with that your mind is capable of solving every problem you have. If you can go home with that, your mind is capable of solving every problem you have. Your mind is capable of solving every problem you have. The solution may be, okay, get out of the country. The solution may be start a business. The solution may be, quit your job. The solution can be anything. Yes, but your mind is capable. If you can put your mind to task, you'll be so surprised what your mind can do. And I'm talking from experience. For me, life was all finished, But when I started putting my mind to work, everything changed. Everything changed. I started living life at my terms. So you need to understand that. Okay. Now, one of the things you need to do understanding mental technology is to know that if you don't improve on your mind will be suboptimal. In other words, the amount of power you give your mind is the amount of the amount of energy you give your mind is the amount of power it will produce. So if in the last 3 months you have not started and finished the book, in the last 3 months you've not taken a course, in the last 3 months you've not, that means you are not helping your mind, and your mind cannot produce the power it needs. So you need to understand that garbage in, garbage out, input, output, whatever you put, that's how it's gonna be. If you're not sharpening an iron, rather a knife, it cannot be cutting fine. So, but when you sharpen a knife very well, it can easily cut. To that extent, how are you sharpening? What have you sat down to say? These are my problem. These are where I am deficient. I am deficient in public speaking. I am deficient in writing proposal. I'm deficient in writing business plan. I'm deficient in marketing. I'm deficient in critical thinking. I'm deficient in inversion thinking. I'm deficient in reading. I'm deficient in speed reading. I'm deficient in marketing. I'm deficient in sales. I'm deficient in copywriting, in writing copy, writing sales copy. I'm deficient in following through. I'm not a good executor. I'm procrastinating. If you don't sit down to check all these things and work on them, you will not you will not become what you want to be. So the coping technique, the resilient technique for this time is that you must find the bearing of your mental technology. You must understand that the mind is a tool that you can put to work, and very much like technology and science, it will output what you want. If you take a product, maybe you take a phone and say, how can I sell this phone at double the price? If you think about it for 48 hours, you will learn how to sell that phone at double the price. And then it's very important to know that there are two things you must understand if you want to be wealthy. Number one, you must learn how to create or build something. Number two, you must learn how to sell that thing you have built. Now, you can build something you don't have the capacity to sell. Somebody can come and you partner with the person, and the person will sell, and you both can make money. You may not be the person who built, you are able to sell. You can take what they built already and sell. But if you can build and sell at the same time, it will be powerful because you can now teach people what to do with what you've built. Very important. Learn to build or create something. Whatever it is, you can be creating a book, you can be creating a cartoon, you can be creating a software, it can be, yeah. Learn how to create or build something. It can be moi, but let it be something that is so good, something that is nice. It can be online course, it can be a company, whatever it is, create something. As we finish from this, go to Forbes.com and check the list of the richest people in Forbes. You're going to see that they've created something. And not, you see Louis Vuitton and Sephora. You'll see the next person, um, you know, um, the Tesla guy, Elon Musk. He has built Space X, he has built Tesla, has built Boring Company, he has built Neuralink, he has built, he owner of Starlink, quite a lot of things he has built. He was part of OpenAI. Yes, he's the owner of Twitter. So if you don't build something and sell something, there is no way you'll be wealthy. Understand this. We are encouraging you to hold the government accountable. criticize them, hold them accountable, vote them out or vote them in, the ones you want, the one. But you see, don't allow your life to just be like, oh, government and government, you're waiting for them. If I had waited for government with my physical disability, I don't know where I would have been by now. I would have been gone. I would have been destroyed because I can't remember what thing government has really done for me. You see, from childhood. So the point is, while you hold government accountable, make sure that you don't allow your life to be messed up by just government policies. Find a way to get better, to do better every day. So mental technology, you need to first of all believe in yourself for you to believe in your mentors. If you don't believe in yourself, you cannot even believe that your brain can solve problems. You need to believe in yourself. Now, a lot of people will doubt you, but don't doubt yourself. In fact, when I was growing up, I say I will be this, I will be that, I will do this, I will do that. A lot of people will laugh and say, is it with this your legs? But you see, I have finished those things. I did those things in less time than I thought. What's the point? The point is simple. You must be confident and courageous about who you are, about your qualities and skills, and that's why you need to develop them the more. And then you must believe in your God, in yourself, and in your abilities. And then you must go to town with the value that you have. I'm not motivating you. I'm a business teacher. I'm telling you the mental technology that makes great people great. If every day that you have an idea and somebody looked at it and used left hand to say, with this work, what is this? What is this? What is this? Because of the way the person picked it and asked you, what is this? Then you are afraid. You just throw that away. Are you okay? Is something wrong with you? Yes, you have to believe in yourself. Go out there, do it. If it fails, what happened? You do the next one. It fails. You do the next one. It fails. You do the next one. The point is, if you don't do, you cannot be rich. Only doers go to the bank, not just thinkers, not just talkers. Doers, those who do, that the people. Just watch television. Every television you watch, every news, every project, every product, everything you watch, God had given you that idea sometime in the past, and you neglected all of them. And today you see people who are doing them. It's very important to note that you need to be courageous and confident in your mental capacity, in your power. Fail and then go back and redo that. Mental technology. Love yourself. Forgive yourself for setbacks. Believe in yourself. Cultivate optimism. Visualize where you are going. Let where you are going be the reason you do what you do. Yes, let it be. I can't tell you how many, I can tell you, you know, all the places, I mean, physical fall, all the places have fallen, whether it's Charles de Gaulle Airport, the Frankfurt, Schiphol, or whether it is Emirates, whether it's Gatwick and Heathrow, whether everywhere. Because when I was younger, I used to refuse to tell allow them to carry me on wheelchair. I will walk all that. And you know that foreign airports are so, so large. And I will walk and walk and walk. I refuse to be carried, and I will fall and rise and all this. I wanted to create that toughness. I wanted to tell myself, I don't give you room to fail. I just, it's only my leg that is bad. My head is not bad. My hands are not bad. My nose, my mouth, my every part of me is nice. So why should I just be complaining about one thing and use it to now just make my life rubbish? No, I refuse. And I encourage you to refuse. Okay, cultivate optimism, visualize success, and focus on positive aspects of your journey. Don't allow the negative to dampen. The way I said, I lost only my leg, and if it's 100%, I have 99 over 100. Why? Because I still have other parts of my body. Why should I concentrate on the 1% that is not bad? That is bad. And I decided to push through. Yes, I want to encourage you. Develop a growth mindset. Believe in your abilities. Understand that every single thing you need to develop to become who you are is already within you. It's just to develop it. You're not going to get it from any other place. It's just, it is there. You need to water it. You need to make it better. You need to go out there. You need to fail. Yes, a lot of us are not successful because we have not failed the much we should. Fail fast and fail. While you still have the time, so that you can succeed. Yes, and who says you will fail? When you go ahead to do that, you're going to find out you're not going to fail. Ladies and gentlemen, very important. Let's talk about the third, and I round off here. The third is favoredness technique. I wish you could write it down. Favoredness technique. Favoredness technique. Okay. Um, favoredness technique. Now, what that means is that when you understand that everything you do is destined to succeed, if you know that if you open a YouTube channel, you will succeed with it, will you open or not open? If you know that if you start a business, you will succeed with it, will you start a business or will you not? If you know that if you go to talk to a director, if you go to talk to a minister, if you go to talk to you know a permanent secretary, if you go to talk to MD of company, that you will succeed, will you not go talk to him or her? You will go and talk to him or her. Now, I want you to have that at the back of your head, that everything you have to do and you should do and you want to do have been marked favored. It has been marked favored, and then you have been given the power to succeed in them. So, what does that mean? It means that if you don't ask and you don't receive, it is you. It is your problem. It is not the problem of anybody. It's not a problem of God. It's not a problem of ancestral forces or reincarnative powers or demon from your village or your village people. It is not their problem. It is your problem. Now, if anybody should complain in this economy, it is me that is physically challenged and disabled in my lower limbs. I should be the person complaining. But you see, I'm not complaining because I know God has given me the power. What I did in this economy was to add more things, to work harder, to be more resourceful, to become, more pragmatic and practical and all this. And, everything came back together. What's the point? The point is you are favored. So stop waiting for the elusive luck. Okay? You're waiting for one luck to come and help you. Luck. You're waiting for and all those kind of things. And that's something that religion has done us wrongly. Yeah. Some of us are so religious that we don't use our God-given wisdom and strength and our God-given power. I always tell people, if you have paid for school fees for your son or daughter, and then it is time for WAEC, and the child tells you, "Mommy, Daddy, you're a great man. You are wonderful. You know this one, that one, and blah 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 blah. So please come and take this exam for me." And people know you're a great God, and you will not go and do it because you are making that child stupid. You're making that child lazy. So you will not go and do it. You would say, "Oga, go and take your exams. I paid for you. I gave you all the textbooks. I gave you all the notes you need. I provided for you to be in school every day. I cannot come and take your exams for you." So when you are calling God unnecessarily, yes, He's giving you good health. He's giving you wisdom. He's giving you power. He's giving you authority. He's giving you life. He's giving you capacity. You went to school and He's helped you already. Do something. Don't just wait there and then you're just complaining and complaining and complaining. Yeah. So I encourage you, hold government accountable, vote them out, vote them in, the ones you want. Make sure that you call them out. But you see, don't allow your life to be on standstill because you are waiting for government. Don't over complain, and then always understand what the problems are, the macro issues where the government is doing it wrong and all that, and call them out. But you see, also be able to live your life, be able to solve your problems, to be able to be adaptable. Now let's talk about luck for a few minutes, and then I want down there. Look at it this way: God has given you everything you need to be lucky on daily basis. To be lucky and lucky and lucky on daily basis. What are they? God has given you good health. God has given you wisdom. God has given you intelligence, has allowed you to go to school, He has given you a job you are doing now, He's given you some skills and all those. Now, what you need to do is to understand that this thing we call luck, we can create them. You can create your luck. And let me give you just maybe two, three, four, five parameters that you can use to create more luck for yourself. Number one is that you must understand that luck is based on chances. So let me say, you know, I have my staff who is handling um, this particular podcast or broadcast. A wonderful woman, Lady PJ Praise, Mrs. Praise Jegede. She's the person who handles this project for me. Now, this time I allowed her to be the person who advertised it and all those. I didn't help. I just helped, just put it in one or two places and others. But you see, by the one we're having on Sunday evening by 9 p.m., I am going to help her advertise it. Now, when I do, because I'm going to send probably direct mail to maybe 12,000 people, from tomorrow, I send mail to 12,000 people and all those. When you come here on Sunday, there's most likely going to be more people than the people you saw here today. Why? Because I created more chances. So from tomorrow, I'll help her, to broadcast and market the one for Sunday, for Wednesday, for the other Sunday, so that we can have more people in the class. So how you become lucky is you create more chances. If she didn't broadcast this, probably we won't have even one person in class today because she broadcasted it, rather she shared it and she marketed it. That's why we have the number of people, and I didn't join her. Now, if I join her from tomorrow to market for the Sunday on, you're going to see more people in class. And if also I now said, okay, I want to put in some money and advertise it, and advertise on Google, advertise on Facebook, advertise on TikTok, and all those, and LinkedIn, I'm going to have more people in class. So the more chances you create, the luckier you become. If you go into a conference and you go and sit at the back, at the extreme right, at the last seat there, you have created lower chances for yourself, or you sit at the front, at the extreme right, at the front, yes, you are going to create the least chance for yourself because that place you can only have access to one or two persons. You won't have access to much people. Okay. So now, but if you go and sit somewhere at the center, maybe second or third row, you sit somewhere there, you can talk to the person at your back, at your side, at your front, at your back, you created more chances. And now when you go on break, you decide, you map up the number of people to talk to. I'm talk to this man, I'm talk to this man. It looks like a decision-making machine and all that. You are creating more chances. You share your card. Yeah. If you came with your card, you create better chances than when you are just forcing people to save your number. Okay. Whatever works. But the point I wanted to make is that if you create more chances, you become luckier. The person who marketed 100 people is most likely going to sell more than the person who marketed only one person. The person who marketed 100 people is most likely going to sell more. In our organization, sometimes uh, we market 800 people and we have 50 people in class. Maybe for a program of 250,000, 475,000, you market 800 people directly, and then you have 50 people in class. So you must understand the law of average. How many people do you need to talk to before you convert one person? How many people do you need to talk to 1 naira? How many people do you need to talk to before you do this? Yes, you can use you power of creativity to create your luck. So that is number one. So in creating five things, I hope the time will allow me to do that. Number one is chances. The more chances you create, the luckier you become. I've seen my friend Joshua here. He's a photographer. If he talks to 100 people who are about to wed, is most likely going to get maybe 5% or 10% or 100% or 20% to be part of that. But if he doesn't talk to anybody, talk to only one person in his church, he's most likely not going to get as much job. Make sure. That's why marketing is very important. It's a good way to create your chances. Visibility is a good way to create your chances. So that's number one when you want to be lucky. Number two, because of our time, I may not be able to go into all of them. So when we see on Sunday podcast is 9 p.m. on Sunday, when we see we'll be treating 21st century parenting, but we're going to also talk about maybe round off with this topic, yeah, by Sunday. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing you on Sunday by 9 p.m. Mark the date, share with your friend. It's the same link. Dr. Kali Cousins YouTube page. You come there, you'll see, you click on live, and you will see the program. So I want you to take this opportunity to share this. If you are not following, you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Please subscribe, share, follow, like, thumb up for the program, and then share with your friends. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. Now, if you have any if you have anything you want to say, or you a topic you want me to treat, you can you can talk to us 090-555-99925. Okay, you can call, or WhatsApp, or email, or SMS us at 090-555-99925. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing you. If you want me to treat any topic, please send me. You can just comment like, oh, Dr. Kali, treat this topic. You can also send me a text, or you send me you call me, or on that number you call us. I may not be the person to answer, but you can be sure it will get to me, and then we will be able to treat the topic you want us to treat. So till Sunday night, remember it is Wednesday 9 p.m. and Sunday 9 p.m. we go live, but always good stuff happen on this channel every single day. There are things about business, about life, about sources, about selling, about copyright, about everything. All the things I did to come to where I dish them out here. I'm more serious with this channel right now, because somebody is managing. Mrs. Praise Jagade is managing it, and I encourage you, if you want her to manage your own too, you can send message to this, and then she can take up the management of your own at a fee. She's a good woman and a great woman, and she's been my mentee for some time, and I can vouch for her. If you want her to manage your page, just say, I want Praise Jagade to manage my page, Mrs. Praise Jagade, and she will get back to you, and then you guys will discuss, and you can be sure she will do a great job. So thank you guys. Tell me what you've learned at the comment section. See you on Sunday 9 p.m. and next Wednesday 9 p.m. Another Sunday 9 p.m. Next Wednesday 9 p.m. Okay, see you then. That's 9 p.m. Nigeria time. Bye bye. Thank you. God bless you. Good night.